I'm going to talk about something that we can see here there, and so I hope you will see. So I will tell you that, like I told you, I have been here in Israel now 4 years. So I was in Israel many times before I moved here, and the first time actually in 1976. And the second time in the Intifada. I was here in Intifada and everything was closed. It was very different until what it is now. But one of my main times when I was here 2010 for 2 weeks all alone with no family or anything, just to see and to get to know and to feel the feelings from the city and Jerusalem. And I'm sure that you can feel that this is a special place. And when I lived in an area that is called the Mea Shearim, and maybe you don't know so much. A second, please, then I will very appreciate that you're helping me. So in Mea Shearim, I actually rented a room there, and there is ultra-Orthodox Jewish people. Everything was new for me. It was so exotic and nice. And this was in the fall, and I passed by a store, and I saw this amazing picture. So for me, I didn't understood. I understood that this is probably supposed to be somewhere from Jerusalem. I didn't recognize what it is, but it's a beautiful picture. So I bought it and I took it home and I had it on my wall for 4 years in Sweden. Okay, and here we can see they are walking here, and today we know if we turn around we see it's the Tower of David.
Really?
It took me maybe 4 or 5 years. I came back to Israel and I was walking there from that direction, and then I can actually tell when it was. It was in Shavuot 2014. I walked from there and I saw from this and I recognized this is it. Yes, this is one picture I had at home all the time. So it was very, very, very beautiful. So then I was thinking like, okay, what is this? And also here is a minaret. I couldn't really get it together. So,
What's the name of the minaret?
so I will tell you very soon. I will explain for you. So now I have some, and now we have seen enough of this, I think.
Just a quick question, please.
Yes?
You said this is the Tower of David.
Yeah.
Right, this is Tower of David, you said?
Yeah.
And you showed us a minaret, which
Yeah.
I know is a Muslim mosque. So David was a
Exactly.
Muslim?
So that's a very good question that you are, and I will give you an answer to these things. Because the thing is like this, that the first time I have here, I will show you something that is a little bit too small maybe for you to read, but you will get a feeling from this. This is, every number is 14 numbers. This is every time when it was earthquakes here in Israel, okay? So if you later on like to see, it's also telling you when and where, okay? And all the yellow lines here is about when something was built here or repaired. So it starts up here, it says the 18th century, before Common Era, the King Hizkiah, he was the first one that built on this wall here. And we can, in the Tower of David there, we can go down 5 meters down, we can actually see memories from that wall. Or we also had other memories in the Cardo Street that we were before, from that time, from that wall that he was building. But that was not, they don't used to call that the first wall. The first wall is when the Chasmonaim later on built, that we also heard about. And then we had earthquakes and breaks down, and no, I just said wrong. We didn't had any you had an earthquake here, the first one, the year 31 before Common Era. So this was after Herod actually had been here. And now I'm going back to, I said that I will go back into history. And Herod the Great, he was a great builder, and that was what he was doing actually. And he built the walls around, because the Romans had delete. So he built the walls around here, and he also built himself a palace. He was a man that really thought a lot about himself. And if he had any enemy, he just killed them because he was the best one. He was the greatest one. So he built the tower over there, and it is 3 towers, one from his brother, and one from his friend, and one from one of his wives, Miriam. We have still the memory of the tower of his brother, Fasael. So what happened here then? It doesn't even go 100 years until we can see here what Josephus Flavius is telling us. He's telling us in the book that is called The Jewish War. And he's writing this, I guess, the year maybe 1890, after the Common Era. So it's not even 100 years after that was built, the palace. And he writes like this. Accordingly, it was called the citadel by King David. He was the father of that Solomon who built this temple at the first, but it is by us called the upper marketplace. And he here described about that how he built the Tower of David. So actually, what I can understand, it was called the Tower of David already by Josephus Flavius. I can guess that Herod the Great, that was lying down there in his grave that he built in Herodion, he was probably turning around in furious of what Joseph Flavius forget him even before 100 years passed from when he died. So today you asked the question about the minaret, why it is there. And it was that when the Muslims came here, they built actually a mosque there. But after the earthquakes that you talked about, and also the Crusaders came here, they built you can see on the sides of Tower David. You cannot see it from here, but we can look when we come closer. When it goes in slopes, it's called glaciers, and that is something that the Crusaders built together with the moats to stop people from being able to enter. And they also didn't like the mosque, but when Suleiman the Magnificent, when he came, he built up, actually it wasn't him because it was built the year 631, that minaret that we have here, but it was built by the Ottomans. And Suleiman, he built all the walls that we can see today. Maybe you can find a stone here and there that is from earlier time, but mainly we should say that all the wall that we see around Jerusalem was built during the year 532 of Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent, that also built what I said before, the Sabils and the pool we have down there. So if you don't have any questions, we will go further and go back to modern time.
One question. Can you tell me what this wall here is?
That first wall there, that is, yes, no, I don't think it's glasses, no.
This is.
Uh,
No, I'm just asking about this wall.
The lower wall.
The one next to us.
oh,
Not the wall up there.
okay, so that is actually from Herod. It is, we can see his wall here. And then you wonder, how could she know that? Because I know, of course. But if I didn't know, I could have been looking at the stone there, and I see that have the shape from the Herod Great. He was doing this kind of things. So that's how you can find out. If you're going to Hebron or wherever, and you are thinking, might this have been built by Herod the Great? And you can just have a look, and you can see. So now we are going